Good morning. Hi, I am Luke, and this is something to cry about. Firstly, everybody who commented and subscribed on the last video, you you blew me away. Um, I'm feeling emotional. I've never felt so seen in my life. Um, I've been going to therapy for years, but I think there's something about healing with other people. I think it is because we are a social species. We need to heal in public. Um, that's why building in public is so important. Any founder will say that it's good to build in public because people see what you're doing, and that brings me to the next thing. So something that I noticed in myself, and this might apply to you, but I isolated. If at a young age you find that it is dangerous um, or hurt or it hurts you to interact with people, you'll stop interacting with people, or you'll only interact when absolutely necessary. Um, so I didn't kick up a fuss. I didn't. I just under the radar as much as possible. Whatever I could do, just not to stand out. In school, my mother never asked for a report card ever. Um, so I didn't see there was any reason to do anything besides not get in trouble. So I barely passed. um, unless I enjoyed the subject, in which case, like I got like a solid A, A plus. Um, where was I going with this? Oh yes. So isolation. On the one hand, it gave me the feeling that I was safe. It was soothing. I could I could be me. I could I could act as I acted without other people making fun of me or hurting me. Um, it felt safe. It felt nurturing. And it was in that place that I spent a lot of time in introspection, a lot of time reading, um, a lot of philosophy, trying to figure out how people work and why they do the things that they do. Um, and it created a lot of empathy in me. Hey, my boy, that's Joe. He's saying hello. Yeah, come. Do you want to say hello? Say hello. This is Joe. He is the best. Um, so it feels good. It feels correct to to isolate yourself. Um, problem is, and I think this is a time for crafts, is I have a suspicion. I don't know how true this is, but I think in our culture, um, you have to relate to people, and that relating is relationships. Um, and it's a give and take kind of thing. So imagine that this is a person. This is a very simplistic idea model, but if this is how a happy person looks, and this part is the part that you give, and this is the part taking, and then all the people can fit in, and then we have a healthy society. But the difficulty is, what if we live in a world that's continually changing, and society's morals and ideas and what is feels good and what is good and healthy is continually in flux. Well, that's the world that we live in. I don't know about you, but everything is different, pretty much. The stuff that you thought were like solid when you were a little kid, the world has changed dramatically, and it continues to change. Um, but when you're in isolation, um, you don't necessarily know what you should do. You just maybe know, or maybe what if your shape, because of maladaptation, is more like this? You just give and give and give. Let's make this more round, you know? And you're basically just a ball, a small little ball that other people kick around because you allow them to. And sure, things go easier because you fit everybody, but nobody asked you to, and so they don't take it as something that's worth anything and they take it for granted because they didn't ask you to make sure that everything is perfect all the time, or to be hyper vigilant, or to clean up, or have anxious attachment. Um, because maybe you came up with a shape on your own, which was totally valid at the time, but that shape doesn't fit the rest of society. It only fits people who maybe are maladapted. So you end up with like two weird puzzle pieces, you know. Um, like I made sure that my mom, everything went smoothly. We were on the run. It felt like life and death. There wasn't time for me to go, I don't like what's happening. Um, it felt very much life and death. Probably wasn't nearly as life and death. My mom had her own issues. Everywhere we went, there were always fights. People were always fighting with her. And it was only after I became an adult and spent time with people and realized that that's not normal. Um, I was like, oh, okay. So the adaptations that I built in myself to be able to survive with her and make sure that we got all of our needs met, from food to making sure that she had friends, because if she didn't have friends she'd get depressed and take it out on the rest of the world, or make sure that the house was clean, um, because she got angry if it was cluttered, um, doing all of these lots of little things that I just carried on into life. um, so I'd have a partner and we'd live together, and then I'd clean the kitchen always. If there was a dish, I'd clean up after myself. Also, my mother and I didn't really eat meals together, so when I ate, I would clean up after myself, and if there were other things in the sink, I would wash them as well. Um, and I remember when I got married, my wife didn't do that. She would just fill up the sink, and when the sink's full, then she'd wash it. That's what she always told me. But it never got that far, because if I saw anything in the sink, any dirty thing, instinctively I would go and clean it immediately. Um, and only kind of recently did I go, maybe you're slightly healthier with this. Let's do a little experiment. Can we do a little experiment? I want to try and get a bit better. Um, and let's do it, but let's fill up the sink and with dirty dishes. And when it is full with both of our dishes, whoever is nearest does the dishes. And we tried this for a few days, and it felt horrible. Uh, I felt so guilty every single time I heard her wash a dish, which is wild. So I don't want this to be a very long one, but again, thank you for following me on this journey. And most people have an ACE score. Most people. I think only 40% of the world don't have ACE scores. That's a tiny amount. Um, if you're a minority or belong to a group of people that are oppressed, um, yeah, you're going to have a lot, yeah, high prevalence of ACE scores as well. I had a few friends reach out to me, and they were like, like black people have these issues. Lots of my friends have the exact what you've mentioned. It's just totally normal here in South Africa. Well, he's from Benin, so further up Africa. But the point is that we need to figure out how to solve these things for ourselves. We can't do it in isolation. because we don't know how to fit with our culture, and we need to figure out how to fit with our culture. So something that I propose, they did this experiment uh, ages ago before ChatGPT. This was still early days, kind of, I think, of machine learning. And they wanted to see what strategies worked, you know, with game theory. If And it turned out that the strategy that worked best wasn't the one that gave the most. It wasn't the one that was highly vindictive and tried to take as much as it could. It was tit for tat. You do something to me, I do the same thing for you, and I'm willing to uh, give you like one chance. Uh, but if you blow that chance, that's it. And I think that's kind of healthy because that way you can go out into the world and you can actually do the same thing. Because most people that you're going to meet are maladapted. They don't have your best interest in heart. They've got theirs, and they don't even necessarily know who they are if they are identifying heavily with their maladaptations. So be careful out there, and know that those sometimes you're just going to meet those people. Marcus Aurelius said, today you're going to meet all kinds of people. I'm going to butcher this quote, but yeah, you're going to meet people who are miserable, who swear at you. You're going to meet people who aren't great, like massive ingratitude. You're going to, like, I'm probably going to find people who comment on this in very nasty ways. It's the internet. I used to post quotes about Stoicism, and I used to sometimes get death threats whenever I posted quotes about Seneca, and because he wrote about anger. Um, Angry people do not like to hear about anger. And Seneca used to kind of like tease and prod and poke people a little bit. So it kind of makes sense. But I had to learn, okay, I've encountered this kind of person. That's it. Don't take it personally. That's just one of those kind of people. And I think you should too. Um, and we should be wary of isolating ourselves because it misshapes us and it keeps us in shapes that aren't healthy for us or our children or the people around us. Yeah, that's it. Um, I hope you have a truly beautiful life and that you heal from every horrible thing that has ever happened to you. That did not deserve, you did not deserve that to happen. And if you've made it this far, thank you. And I truly hope that you get filled with just deep calm and joy and peace and love, and that people around you see you for who you are.